Hi everyone, my name is Tanin. I'm the creator of ToastHost. In this demo video, I will walk you through how to get started using ToastHost, walk you through some of the features that we have. So to get started, for any clubs in District 91, you are already on board. This is because we built some tools and dashboards for District 91. Therefore, all clubs on District 91 are already on the platform. That means you don't have to create an account. All of you already have an account. Just use the same email address that you use for Toastmasters International website, and you'll get an OTP code to your email, so no need to remember another password. So get started with me. Just scan the QR code or type in worldwideweb.toasthost.co.uk. And I'm going to log in on my screen as well. So let's get started here. New, get one-time code. Gonna check my phone for the one-time code. 706802. And I am in. Now let's talk about how you would run a meeting. Using ToastHost, I have split this into 3 parts: before the meeting, during the meeting, and after the meeting. So now we before the meeting. What do? We need to schedule a meeting, assign someone to the roles, and maybe members can request for roles in speeches themselves as well. And doing all this back and forth between VPE and the members, ToastHost also provides some automatic emails that you can use to let the other side know that they have been assigned or they have not been assigned. So let's have a look at it in action. I am going to go to London Corinthians because I'm the VPE of London Corinthians. You can see VP of Education is me, Tanin. And let me create just an ad hoc meeting for today, which is 18th of November. Okay, let's do it. So now I have created a meeting. Notice that the meeting status, this chip right here, is in draft, and that means the members cannot see this meeting. This will help you with organizing the meeting and making sure you got all the right names before you actually publish or schedule the meeting. Let's see what it looks like from the member perspective. So this is on the right hand side here is my actual phone logged in as one of my club members, and as you can see, he's also on the meeting page, but he cannot see the meeting on the 18th of November because me, the VPE, has not scheduled it. And this helps you keep things a bit tidier for the members not to get confused. Maybe you organize a contest meeting 2 months in advance and you don't want the members to see it yet because you don't have all the names yet. And that's why we need the draft state. So let's go into the draft meeting. On the meeting page, you can add any details about the meeting, and you can assign people. All the names here are, all the members' names will be shown in the drop down too, so that you don't mistype the name of your members. Know that it is redacted because I'm doing a video recording, so just to protect their privacy, the full names won't be shown. You can see my name here, and I can select my name as a grammarian, and or select my actual president here, maybe Samuel, the member on the right hand side, can be our Toastmaster. Actually, I'll make him our speaker. So he can be our speaker. Done. And And let's say our meeting is ready. We will be ready to go, ready to rock. So we schedule the meeting. So now that the meeting is scheduled, notice on our members' screen, the meeting on the 18th has popped up, and he or she can go into it, and you can see the member sees a very similar screen with just slightly less controls compared to the VPE screen. On the left-hand side, you can see the role sign-up section, which for the VPE, they can assign anyone. I can just type in some names here and assign. I can also notify the person via an email right from this dashboard. I'm not going to do that here because we are just demoing. And on the other hand, on the members screen, they can also request to do certain roles. They can browse around, look for available roles, and maybe if they're not sure when the role time is, they can see the agenda as well. Now let's say Sam wants to be the timekeeper, so he can request role here, and then on the officer screen, you see that we have this control, which the VPE can choose whether to assign this person to the role or not. We have this pending section because sometimes a new member might be a bit too ambitious and want to do a Toastmaster. That's why we have this control. So let's say I want to approve him. So I say approve. And once I have approved, if we just refresh on this screen, you'll now see that Sam is the timekeeper, and he can see himself as a timekeeper on the agenda as well. Now, let's say Sam wants to request a speech, and we have the speech section here. I'm just going to unassign him here. When you unassign, you can also email and unassign at the same time, just so the members know that they are no longer on the list. Maybe they have already asked you to remove them because they're busy. So this is a confirmation that they have been removed from the role. I'm just going to skip the email here. And now he is unassigned from the speaker. And now let's say someone brand new wants to request to do a speech. So they can click on request speech here. Note that the buttons are different because I have recorded my pathway on ToastHost, but Sam hasn't. So we're just going to record the pathway first before we request for speech. And Sam's pathway is presentation mastery, the most famous pathway. We save pathways. And now that he has recorded his pathway, all the speeches that is required in that pathway shows up, including the Successful Club series presentations. And he can see it all. And if he has delivered some, it will show up as already delivered. So he or she doesn't do the same project twice. And let's say he wants to do introduction to vocal variety here. You go to next, my speech, you go to next, and then you can select the dates. The date screen here, it shows all the available dates that's been scheduled. If the meeting is already full, we have a meeting scheduled on the 27th. It already have 3 speakers, which is our how we normally have speakers in each meeting. So Sam cannot select that date, but he can select other dates. So submit request. And then once the request is submitted on the VPE screen, I can see Sam's request for presentation mastery. That is his speech title. That's some project information. I can assign him. Once he is assigned, the project information shows up here as well, and also in the agenda. Now, sometimes you have a general evaluator from outside of the club, or a new member whose name is not registered or recorded on the system yet. So how do you add their names? Well, from the VPE side, you can add any name. You can type in anything into these fields. Let's say the general evaluator is someone from outside the club, and you can just type in that and say general evaluator, and that will show up on the agenda as the name that you typed in, general evaluator. So now the agenda is ready. Let's say it's ready. I know there's still some slots available, but you don't need to fill in everything. You can start the meeting right here. But before we start the meeting, you might want to print out the PDFs because it's probably still the most handy way to see the agenda, especially for the timekeeper and the Toastmaster. So we have this generate PDF button, which once you click on it, it will generate the PDF agenda. It contains all the information we've just filled in, the project details of the speaker, and all the names we added earlier, and all the text we added in for the name section, the general evaluator name that we added, which was not from the member list. It all shows up here, the time and everything. We also have the QR code, which takes you to that very meeting. So if you've printed this out and someone wants to see the agenda online, they can scan this QR code. Now we have seen how you would prepare for a meeting. You schedule a meeting, assign members, or approve their requests to do a role or a speech, and we have automatic emails to help you reduce the communication load. The next step is what you do during the meeting. So during the meeting, guests or members in the room can see the agenda from the meeting page, and they can vote online, and then they can also provide feedback to the speakers online as well. So let's jump right in. Back on this screen, we have the start meeting on the top. And the reason we have the start meeting as a separate state from the scheduled meeting is because of our voting and feedback feature. So for the voting feature, you don't want people to start voting before the meeting starts. That's why we need a scheduled and the meeting starting state. And you can see here we have some voting sections. I'll show you how to add it later. And we have the feedback section in which people who look at the screen without logging in, they can provide feedback to the speakers as well. So let's add some more speaker names so that we have some people on the voting ballots. I'm just going to do it from here. Evaluated 2, evaluated 3. Gonna add some names to this as well. All right, now we have 3 speakers, 3 evaluators, and as you prepare it, or maybe you can do this right before the meeting starts, you can say add from agenda, then you see all the names from the agenda. Then you say for the best evaluator, add from agenda. Names come from the agenda. And same for the speaker feedback. You add from agenda. And then the feedback section shows up. Again, it's not going to open. You can't give anyone feedback until the meeting has started. And that's when you can start writing some feedback. Note that the table topic voting section is the only part that doesn't take information from the agenda, because normally it's quite ad hoc, and sometimes you find guests during the day before the meeting to do table topics. So this is the only thing that you have to type in manually while the meeting is running. Now let's start the meeting and see what it looks like. Say start the meeting. You can see on the phone on the right hand side from the member perspective that you can no longer sign up for a role, but then you will see the agenda right on the very top. Details can be seen as well, but it's normally once you're in the meeting room, you don't really care about where it is or the meeting time. You just care about the agenda. So that's why it's collapsed, and you can see the agenda. The members or the guests who scan the QR code can see the agenda easily. Also note that during the meeting, the members might not have the link to the meeting handy, or especially guests, they don't know where to find the links. So what do you do? In London Corinthians, the club where I'm the VPE, we have this little QR code paper. You can see it on the phone here. So we pin these QR code out, place it on the chairs, and then people can scan it and access the meeting from there, and they can see the agenda. So this basically replaces the old way of placing the agenda paper on the chairs. Now you can just do one QR code that will always link to your latest meeting, and that QR code can be found from this screen. We have this QR code here. Scan this QR code, it will take you to the meeting page. You will automatically be directed to the current in progress meeting or the next scheduled one. And in this case, the in progress meeting is the one we have been creating. So that's why when we scan the QR code here, it took us to this very meeting. Now, during the meeting, the two key things that you have to keep in mind is the online voting and feedback. So the voting, as I showed you earlier, you can prepare it in advance. And now, because the meeting is in progress, you can switch it on, and a member or a guest can see that it's on. They can scroll to the voting section and then choose the best speaker. And when they vote for someone, then we as an officers will see the result right on here. So Sam just voted for Emily. So yeah. And as an officer, you can also vote as well because you are also a member of the audience. So you can vote for someone, and then the vote number goes up and down. Once you've voted, you can't re-vote again. It will remind you who you have just voted. And once the voting is done, you can close it so it doesn't clutter the view. And you can open the votes for other roles. If they don't see it, just ask them to refresh, then they'll see it. So that's the voting. Table topics during the meeting, you can just type in the name. Again, you get the drop down of the members' names. If the members is giving the table topics, you can even add some table topic question onto it as well to help remind the members and the audience who wants to vote about the topic. Maybe we have someone from outside, enter the speaker name. If you open the votes, the members or the guests can just click there. Oopsie, it's my phone, so I cannot use the mouse to click. So I tap there, and then I can vote for someone. The vote goes up. The officer sees it right away. So that's the voting, online voting. Now when it comes to feedback, note that I am logged in as Sam, and Sam is also someone giving the speech. So in addition to being able to give feedback, Sam can also see the feedback that he will be receiving. So in this case, if I give feedback to Sam, well done. Give some notes on what stood out and submit. Then Sam sees his feedback immediately from me and the message. And then he can export it as a PDF too, and he can easily store this in his own digital folders. That is the online voting and feedback. And you may be wondering, what if the person doesn't want to log into ToastHost? Well, you as an officer can also pass the feedback to them. You can export this as a PDF and then pass the PDF to the member too. And that is the online voting and feedback that you do during the meeting. So we have seen online voting and feedback. Let's move on to the last part, which is what you do after the meeting. And I'm going to focus on 3 groups of people: the members who have given the speeches and doing the roles, some of the guests who want to sign up, and some of the guests who want to be a member. So let's go back to the meeting page. So right on the meeting page, on the very top, you also need to click finish the meeting. This is important for 2 reasons. First, there can only be one in progress meeting. So if you don't finish this one, you won't be able to start the next one. And second, the roles and the speeches that the members have done won't be recorded if you don't finish it. So if you record it, it will be finished and it will show up on the members' pathway progress and history. So we're going to click finish the meeting here. Then we're going to check the member here who had given a speech. So finish the meeting. And let's go and check. So the meeting has finished. I'm going to go to the homepage of Sam's. And on Sam's homepage, there is a My Pathway card. And he can see the last delivered speech, which was this one. It was delivered on November 18th. There's also a link to that meeting page as well. And he can see the full history of the speeches he has given, the level, the project, when it was delivered, etc. And because in our example, apart from being the speaker, where is it? Speaker, Sam. Sam was also the timekeeper. So we have a section called Raw History. And Sam recently was the timekeeper at London Corinthians on November the 18th. Now on to the guests who want to sign up on the digital guestbook. Normally what we do in London Corinthians is we have a link at the very bottom section. So on the meeting page, there's this link section, which you can attach any link to anything. We have a link to a Google form for club feedback. We'll also have links to our digital guestbook on ToastHost. You can see here, ToastHost is a ToastHost link. So you can find this link on the home page. So if you go back to your dashboard, but not that one, dashboard. So that is the guestbook link. And on this link, which was embedded at the bottom of the meeting page, let's go to the member view. So let's say this one will be visible to any guest who scanned the QR code. So let's say there's a guest who wants to sign up on a guestbook. You can tap on guestbook here and say test guest here, some last name, some email address, and how did the member find out about the club or the meeting. and then register. And once the guest has registered, you can go to the guest book section, and you can see the newly registered test guest. From here, you can email them because you have that email here. But also, for every guest who signs up, we have an automated email system which will email whatever you write as the template here to all the guests who sign up. So normally what we do here is we have a first email to thank them for visiting and hope they join us in the next meeting, etc. That's just we have some handy template here as well for the next meeting date. So in this case, it's just a preview, so it shows an outdated date. But you can see in the template here, which you can edit, it comes from a parameter that we provide so that it is always relevant. And you can even attach the membership joining information. We attach our Eventbrite link here as well. We attach our membership sign up form too if the guest is interested in signing up as a member. And that brings me to the membership sign up. Similar to how we have the guest sign up link at the bottom of the meeting page. So I'm going to go back to the meeting page on the phone. And we also have the membership sign up form, which once we click into it, it looks something like this. I'm going to show it on the bigger screen here so it's easier to see. You can find it from the main dashboard, which can be found here. So go to the sign up link. So it has the information about how you join, the fees, which I'll show you how to set up, and all the information you need to fill the details on Toastmaster International. And it has some consent forms as well, which follows the guidelines from the Toastmaster International website, some Toastmasters promise, and then they can register. Once anyone register, from the club officer perspective, you have the member section. You can also access it from here, membership. And we have this special tab, prospective members. So if someone has signed up here, I'm just going to sign up here and then I'll be back. So I have registered on the on the member sign up form, and on the membership prospective members here, I'll refresh, and then there you go. So that is I'll move myself away here. That's the newly signed up guest that I just signed up a minute ago. There'll be an email to the VPM of the club with the information that the guest has entered into the form, and they can grab the information from there and put it on the Toastmaster International website. And in terms of setting up the payments and the fees, we have the feature here, because you're going to mention your bank details on your membership sign up form or your renewal email. So you can add your bank details here, and you can even connect to Stripe. So you will have to create a Stripe account, and then every payment, Stripe takes about 1 to 2% fees, but it's very small. It's very convenient because it allows the members to pay via Apple Pay or Google Pay, and it makes it very easy for people to submit their application form and their payment. So once you have these information ready, you can set your payments configuration. Normally we have the initial member fee and you have the monthly fees. So for our club, it's 20 member fee, £20 for initial member fee, £20 per month. And this is our details. We even have the template for a renewal email. like I said, you can use this for both registration email and for renewal email. And once you have that all set, the price calculation on the membership form will always be will always be up to date with your fees, because if you sign up in November, the fee is until March next year. So you want your fees to be adjusted. November sign up and December sign up are different. You don't want to be updating that manually. But if you use the sign up form here, it will be calculated, and you can see the projected membership fees on the table here in the fee calculator. So for our club, you join November is 100, but you join in December or late November, is £20 cheaper because it's one less membership length, and that's the payment feature. You may be wondering about the renewal. There's a quick action here. You can just click, and it will email all the members to remind them about the renewals with some information about, well, it's basically the template here, with some information about the details of the club bank account or the Stripe payment link. And that is the end of the last section after the meeting. So to recap, we looked at before the meeting, how the VPE can schedule a meeting, how the members can request roles and speeches, and the automatic email system between the VPE and the members. Then during the meeting, we looked at how you can see and access the agenda online, how you can do the online voting and feedback. And finally, we looked at the role and speech history that the members can go and see, the sign-up forms for both guest book and member sign-up form, and how you can do the fee calculation. So that is the end of this demo video. Thank you for watching. You can join our support group on WhatsApp to reach out to us, or email us as support@toasthost.co.uk. Thank you for watching.